Hello AOS fans, and I'm here for a little quick announcement. It's not about our channel, but it's about Warhammer Underworlds Online. They've released a new set of patch notes, and some of the things they've added in are fantastic, and I wanted to quickly mention them to everybody out there because I think this game deserves a lot more attention than it's getting right now. So let's have a look at those patch notes and what they mean for the game. So I'm just loading them up now. These are the patch notes for 1.4.1. Who would have thought 1.4.1 made such a difference to the game? But it really does. This game, some of these changes in here are going to be absolutely brilliant. They really start to bring the rules up to date with Beastgrave. So, for example, one of the first changes they made is if you're on guard, you cannot be driven back when you're attacked. That is great if you want to be standing on those objectives. If you know that you can't be killed, but you could be knocked off, that will really help you. That was obviously not in the game before. Another one is when you have the initial roll-off to start the game, whoever wins chooses who places their board first. Now, previously with Nightfall and that, with Shadespire at least, and Nightfall, whoever lost the roll had to pick the board first. Now, that kind of fixated you in one or the other, but now you can choose who places it. That was something that came in with Beastgrave, and that's another fantastic little addition to the whole process. They've also added lethal hexes. Woo! Lethal hexes are added, and they will be placed during board placement, just like they are in Beastgrave, and they will be in Chasm. Lethal hexes, whilst we don't have any boards that have lethal hexes, at least we can place lethal hexes in the game. That's going to add a whole nother level of tactical nuance to the game. I feel I'm really looking forward to having lethal hexes in there. Another one is super actions. Super actions are now considered, like charging and scything are now considered super actions. So things like inspiring with your Rawk after you charge through said lethal hex won't happen. Boo, you'll have to wait until after your attack now. But I think that's really nice. It'll hopefully help tighten up the whole process, and just like it did in Nightfall when they added in super actions for charges, and it's just going to make the game that much more up to date. Another one is surge cards. They are now limiting the number of surge cards in your decks to no more than 6. Now, some people might get annoyed by this. They're like, I bought the game, I want to play it however I want. Well, maybe they'll add other options in, but you know what? This right now will help make the game a lot more balanced and a lot more fun for everybody who's new to the game, who hasn't played the game very much, and all us old pros. You know, we know what we're doing here, so that should be absolutely fine for us. I'm all for that one. I love that. And then possibly the biggest thing that they've done is they've added a restricted list. Now, any of our Patreon supporters, or anybody who wants to join Patreon, who joins in our roughly monthly Warhammer Underworlds Online tournament, which is great fun, and the winner gets a mug, custom made, of course. It's only one of a kind. We've tried to add our own restricted list in, but we figured it was possibly not the best way of doing it. So we haven't done that until now, but Underworlds Online have done that for us, which is great. I love it. Restricted lists, I feel, really help the game, help balance it out, help give all the warbands a bit more chance, and it just stops you taking and seeing the same decks over and over and over and over. So what are those things that they've restricted? Well, for objectives, they've restricted Advancing Strike, Alone in the Darkness, Change of Tactics, Defensive Strike, Escalation, Precise Use of Force, and Sorcerous Scouring. Sorcerous Scouring is a bit of an odd one, but maybe there's another magic-toting warband coming along soon. I mean, they're all pretty much nearly always in all of the decks I take. Maybe not Alone in the Darkness if I'm Support or Guard or something, but nearly all of those, I nearly take all of them, always. So it'll be nice to see that people won't be able to just load up on all of those. Sorcerous Scouring, I'm a bit question mark about, because magic's not that strong yet in the game, but like I say, maybe there's another warband coming that relies on magic a little bit more, looking at you, Averon. After objectives, there are gambits: Illusory Fighter, My Turn, Ready for Action, Trap, Twist the Knife, and Sudden Appearance. Again, all great cards which everyone takes all the time. Sudden Appearance obviously only for the spookies, but I think that is a worthwhile set of cards to restrict. All those like Twist the Knife, Ready for Action, My Turn, just must-haves all the time. So it'd be nice to see that they're not all going to get taken. Next one on there is the upgrades, and the upgrades they've put are Destiny to Meet, Awakened Weapon, Deathly Fortitude, Helpful Whispers, Incredible Strength, Shadeglass Dagger, Shadeglass Hammer, and Soul Trap. Again, they're just all good cards, and it's pretty much, you know, if you took all of those cards in your deck to start with, you'd have a pretty rocking deck, regardless of what else you added into it. So I'm really happy to see that they've added this restriction in place. Obviously, it's a 5-card restriction spread across all 3 categories, so you can take 5 restricted up objectives if you want. 5 restricted gambits or 5 restricted upgrades. I tend to veer more towards the objectives and the gambits than the upgrades, but Shadeglass Dagger's always been a wonderful one, and Awakened Weapon, I mean, when they introduced the far list originally, it pretty much killed the use of Awakened Weapon off for me. And Helpful Whispers, in fact. I tend to always go with about 3 objectives that are restricted, because generally they're easier to score and you need that glory. Nearly always take Ready for Action. A bunch of bug fixes as well. I'm not going to go into those, but there's a nice set of new bug fixes going on there, and they've listed a few known issues which I don't think for the most part are big, to be honest. Now, this game does have some detractors, and some people do say, well, I can't get all the warbands and I can't play Beast Graven, so I don't want it, but that's not what it's about. But this isn't the video to discuss those points. Let me know in the comments below what you think about Warhammer Underworlds Online. Frankly, I think it's an absolutely fantastic game. That's Robin messaging me to agree, I think. I think it's great. I love being able to play it. The only thing that's missing for me now is Garrick. Not just Garrick, of course. The ability to be able to talk to my opponent or communicate with them in some way would be absolutely fantastic. But, you know, maybe that'll be coming along in 2021. Maybe 2021's already starting to look up. This is a lovely end to 2020 for Underworlds Online, and I welcome all of these changes with open arms. But what about you? What do you think about these changes? Are you sad to see lethal hexes without no new boards that have the lethal hexes on? Are you sad to see that they've added in super actions so your Oryx can't charge through those lethal hexes to inspire themselves before attacking? Are you bummed out that initial roll-offs now make you pick? I mean, frankly, I don't think there's a bad change in any of this, and I'm massively behind restricted lists. So yeah, I'm loving it. I hope you do too. Do check the game out. It's worthwhile if you don't have it right now. Hold on, they generally have a sale at some point in the nearest future. Keep an eye on Steam. I think it's fantastic, and if you buy it, you might be able to come up and play me sometime online. Or if you join our Patreon, you can join our monthly Underworlds Online tournament. Anyway, that's enough from me. I'll see you soon in the Beast Grave, or maybe the Chasm.